So now we're all done. We did our 4 stitch outs, but only 2 hoopings, so we stitched it out 1, 2, 3, 4 times, but we only hooped it twice. So that is the big deal. As you can see, it looks really good. There are some tiny little things. You have to remember that embroidery and sewing is an organic process, you know. This is not like painting. The fabric moves, it has its own life, it has its own body, you know. That's why we call it. And when you touch a fabric, you describe its hand, its body, all of that. And so there are just little tiny errors, but really from a distance, and not even that far a distance, it looks pretty close to perfect, and I'm pretty happy with it. So those are my tips for using the 5x12 hoop, that you need to mark the centers of each section. Position 1, position 2, and position 3 centers. You have to mark them all before you start. And then every time you load your design, check and make sure that it's centered, because it can be ever so slightly off. And you'll see that as you go on, and every time you stitch one of these, the process of embroidery with the pulling of the fabric and everything, because it gets a little pulled out of shape. You can see right here, you see how that kind of dips in. Well, it gets pulled. That's the nature of it. There's not much way around that. But you have to mark. You need to use appropriate stabilizer. 2 layers will give you a better result than 1. And be patient, you know. That's it. It's really not too difficult. I float instead of hoop because I find that, you see, I got a lot better result, and it was a lot easier. But floating also has this disadvantage that this fabric is not quite so taut, and so you can have the potential for, you know, these little wrinkles to get in here. And that's okay depending on your project. Like, this is going to be a pillow. Pillows are round anyway. You won't even notice this. I'll take it out, you know, I'll unhoop this, cut all of these little basting stitches, all of the trim all these jump stitches, and I'll iron it. And once it's made into a fabric cushion cover, you won't even notice these little ripples anymore. It'll be just perfect, like they were never there. So there you go.